You are going to fix everything on Monday. The plan is good. You made it about 40 minutes ago, and it covers your sleep, your money, your job, your body, and the person you have not texted back since March. You gave it a title. You capitalized the title. You are 25, and you have noticed, recently and all at once, that you are not who you meant to be. So this is it. You can feel it. This is the turnaround. You felt it in February, too. You reopened the list to make it slightly better. You added a section. You reordered 2 items. You are now researching an app that will help you do the thing instead of doing the thing. You worked out how much sleep you would get if you fell asleep right this second. 6 hours and 12 minutes. You will work it out again in 11 minutes, and the number will be worse, and this will not make you put the phone down. You have a folder of saved posts about discipline. You have never opened it twice. Here's a thing that is true and does not feel true. If you followed a very large number of people through their 20s and 30s and measured them every few years, you would find that most of them get more reliable, more even-tempered, more like the person on your list, not the ones with the best plans. Most of them. So the good news is that you are probably going to become that person. The bad news is that it takes about a decade, and you cannot make it go faster by capitalizing a title. For a long time, people thought this was impossible, that by about 30 your character had set, like plaster, and whatever you were then was what you were going to be. It sounded true. It matched how people talk about each other. He's just like that. She's always been that way. It was wrong, and it took nearly a century of following the same people around to prove it, because the change is slow enough that nobody notices it happening to themselves, including you, right now, in this room. There is a detail in this that people skip past. You are not trying to fix your behavior. You are trying to stop being a certain kind of person. Those are different problems, and only one of them is on the list. Everything on that list is in action. Sleep earlier. Text her back. Go on Sunday. But that is not what you want. What you want is to be someone who does not have to write this list, which is why finishing a whole week correctly does not feel like anything. You did the actions and you woke up as yourself again. And here is the part that will not go away. Your identity is not built out of what you intend. It is built out of what you have already done, and right now the evidence is against you. You have quit before. You know exactly how you behave in week 3. You have watched yourself do this. So when you write the list, some part of you is already reading it as fiction. You are not lacking discipline. You are asking a person you do not believe in to do something difficult, and that person has to go first anyway. But if it is not the plans, then what is it? The answer is boring, and it is the reason the list on your phone is not going to work. You do not become reliable by deciding to be reliable. You become reliable because a job keeps needing you at a specific time, and a rent keeps arriving on a specific day, and eventually a person exists who is counting on you for something. Things that require you, over and over, whether you feel like it or not. That is the whole mechanism. It is not inspiring. It works. And a list you wrote at 1 in the morning requires nothing from you. That is why it feels so good to write. It is also why you have written it before. There is one more thing, and it is the part that will matter to you later. You are going to change. Slowly, over years, mostly because things kept demanding it. You will not feel it while it is happening. There will be no moment. But afterwards, when someone asks how you turned it around, you will tell them there was a night. Every version of this story has a night in it. A conversation that broke something. A bad week that ended. A moment you decided. And when people are asked to tell that story properly, the whole thing, in order, with dates, the night tends to move. It gets sharper in the retelling. It gets promoted. The truth is usually that a lot of things were happening at once over about 4 years, and one of them made a better story than the others. There is a version of this where you do not change at all. Most people get more reliable in their 20s and 30s. Most is not all. and the ones who stay exactly the same are usually not the lazy ones. They are the ones nothing ever required anything from, which is worth sitting with because it is easier to arrange than you think. A job where nothing breaks if you disappear for a week. Friends who do not notice 4 months of silence. A living situation with no one on the other side of it. No standing commitment that cost you anything to miss. That is a comfortable life. It is also a life where the mechanism never runs. Ask yourself what in your life actually breaks if you stop. Not what disappoints someone. What breaks? If the honest answer is nothing, then you are not 25 and struggling. You are 25 and unrequired, and those feel identical from the inside, and only one of them ends. Nobody is going to tell you this, because it sounds like blame. It is not blame. It is just the condition you are in, and you can leave it this week by owing somebody something you cannot get out of. So nobody fixes their life at 25. Not because you are undisciplined, because that is not what fixing a life looks like from the inside. From the inside, it looks like this room, several hundred more times, getting very slightly less bad. The version with a night in it is the version you build later, when you need the story to have a shape. The list is not going to work. You will still write it. That is fine. It was never the thing that was going to change you. It is Monday. He could not tell you when it started.